Tom Shadyac is a filmmaker known for directing hit comedies like Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, Liar Liar, and Bruce Almighty that generated over $1 billion at the box office. He grew up in Falls Church, Virginia, with a father who was a D.C. lawyer and a mother who became paralyzed when Tom was a teenager. Watching his mother find joy through comedy, particularly Johnny Carson's monologues, instilled in Tom an early appreciation for humor's power to lift spirits. As a student at the University of Virginia, Tom felt constrained by the pre-law track he was on. He took a film class in his final year that ignited his passion for storytelling. After college, he moved to Los Angeles and began writing jokes for Bob Hope. This led to opportunities in Hollywood, though it took 11 years of struggle before he got his big break directing Ace Ventura. The success of Ace Ventura launched Shadyac's career as an A-list comedy director. He went on to make a string of hit films with stars like Jim Carrey and Eddie Murphy. This brought Shadyac tremendous wealth and success, including private jets and a 17,000-square-foot mansion. However, he eventually felt unfulfilled by the materialistic lifestyle. A bicycle accident in 2007 led Shadyac to reevaluate his life and priorities. He realized the material trappings of success weren't bringing him happiness. He decided to radically simplify his life, giving away much of his fortune and moving into a mobile home. Shadyac made a documentary called I Am in 2010 that explored his spiritual awakening and quest to understand what truly matters in life. The film examines the fundamental interconnectedness of all things and critiques the individualistic, materialistic values of modern society. This spiritual journey eventually led Shadyac to Memphis, Tennessee, where he began teaching at a local university. He fell in love with the community there, particularly the underserved neighborhoods of South Memphis. This inspired him to found Memphis Rocks, a nonprofit organization aimed at empowering youth through rock climbing, mentorship, and creative opportunities. Memphis Rocks is an 88,000-square-foot facility in one of the poorest zip codes in America. It features a state-of-the-art climbing gym, as well as spaces for yoga, meditation, gardening, filmmaking, and other programs. The goal is to provide opportunities and mentorship to underprivileged youth in the community. Shadyac emphasizes that the most important aspect of Memphis Rocks is the relationships and sense of family it fosters. He shares stories of young people whose lives have been transformed through their involvement, like Jamun Johnson, a former gang member who is now a leader and mentor at Memphis Rocks. The organization takes a holistic approach, recognizing that many of the youth they serve have experienced significant trauma. Rather than judging or trying to fix them, Memphis Rocks aims to provide a supportive community where young people can heal, grow, and discover their potential. Shadyac sees Memphis Rocks as putting into practice the spiritual principles he explored in I Am, namely, that we are all fundamentally interconnected and that true fulfillment comes through serving others. He finds that his own life has been enriched immeasurably through his involvement in the Memphis community. Throughout the conversation, Shadyac shares insights from his spiritual and philosophical explorations. He emphasizes the importance of listening to one's heart rather than being overly driven by the intellect. He sees the heart as an organ of spiritual perception that can guide us toward truth and fulfillment. Shadyac critiques the dominant narratives of modern society that emphasize individualism, materialism, and separation from nature. He argues that these stories lead to suffering and environmental destruction. Instead, he advocates for embracing our fundamental interconnectedness with all of life. Drawing on thinkers like Ralph Waldo Emerson, Shadyac explores ideas about the unity of all things and the importance of aligning with natural laws. He sees competition and individual achievement as valuable only insofar as they serve the greater good of the whole. Shadyac expresses optimism about humanity's future, grounded in a faith that there is a deeper intelligence guiding the unfolding of life. At the same time, he emphasizes the importance of taking action to create positive change in the world. While Shadyac has stepped away from mainstream Hollywood filmmaking, he still sees great value in the power of storytelling. He talks about how films like Bruce Almighty were created with intentionality around exploring spiritual themes. Shadyac shares that he is working on new film projects and is excited about the possibility of returning to directing. He hints at ideas for an Ace Ventura sequel and expresses interest in collaborating again with Jim Carrey. More broadly, Shadyac sees storytelling as essential to fostering empathy and understanding between people. He talks about how Memphis Rocks is training young filmmakers to tell their own stories and those of their community. When asked how he would counsel someone seeking greater meaning and purpose in life, Shadyac emphasizes the importance of self-compassion and removing judgment. He encourages people to pay attention to what draws their heart and to take steps in that direction. Shadyac frames life as an experiment, encouraging people to try new things without attachment to outcomes. He emphasizes that there is no single purpose we are meant to fulfill, but rather that every interaction and experience can be meaningful. Ultimately, Shadyac believes that true fulfillment comes through recognizing our interconnectedness and living in service to the whole. He encourages people to look for ways to make a positive difference in their communities and to cultivate loving relationships. The conversation touches on some of the major challenges facing humanity, including social division, environmental destruction, and the risks posed by advanced technologies like AI. Shadyac emphasizes the need to approach these issues holistically, recognizing their root causes in our collective mindset and cultural stories. While acknowledging the seriousness of these challenges, Shadyac remains optimistic about humanity's future. He believes there is a deeper intelligence at work in the universe, and that we have the capacity to evolve our consciousness in positive ways. Shadyac sees great promise in the younger generation and their desire for change. He believes that by fostering genuine human connection and reminding people of their innate goodness, we can create positive transformation in the world. The conversation concludes with Shadyac sharing his response to the question, "Who am I?" Quoting the poet Hafiz, "I am a hole in a flute that the Christ's breath moves through."